the ocean, as the cradle of all life, where the journey of evolutionary history begins. It hosts one of the most versatile and the most complex ecosystems amongst the earth. Many species seek refuge amongst the corals along the shoreline. Here we're gonna get to know them more as we venture deeper into the corals. The giant hairy red hermit crab, one of the most strong species. It delivers its powerful kick with its sharp spiny legs. The shell on its back that it locks around acts as the armor. Various species of fish have such colorful colors. Whether it is for communication or for deterring predators to know that it is poisonous. The blowfish are one of the fish that instead uses spiky bodies to ward off the predators. Some of the fish, like the bicolor angelfish, despite its not being venomous or poisonous, it has that beautiful, stunning indigo hue, plus the other half of its body with a yellow stripes. It is one of the few fish that feeds amongst the coral. Yellowstone fish, invertebrates such as cleaner shrimps, hides amongst the rock during daytime. The yellow boxfish, close relative of the pufferfish, but it also contains venom in its guts. The venom compound in pufferfish and boxfishes are called tetrodotoxin. It is known to stop heart and nerve system immediately. The yellow wrasses hunts for small invertebrates amongst the rock. So do the long-nosed copper butterfly fish, which use its long beaks to seek small invertebrates. These small fish yet need to be careful. Amongst the stones hides one of the most fearsome predators that can swallow them in one gulp, the panther grouper. Just like the real panther, their striking markings blends them into the rocks. Another predatory fish are the big-eyed squirrelfish. They hunt in the night and they hunt in packs, just like the hyenas. They will drive the prey out of the corals and swallow them whole in one gulp. How terrifying! Another monster of the night is the spiny lobster. It has a long spiny antenna used for self-defense. These lobsters use these crevices for seeking mussels, clams, shrimps, and crabs to eat during the nighttime. In the daytime, they hide in the rocks to avoid predators. As we venture deeper into the Great Barrier Reef, the deeper the ocean gets, the more cooler, striking, and dangerous predator lurks amongst it. One of this would be the Napoleon wrasse. It is known for its big hump and its emerald color. This fish is one of the most biggest king bullies amongst the ocean. It feeds on the small fish in the bottom and feeds in the daytime. These Napoleon wrasses are one of the most versatile reef fish and one of the largest predators that can be found amongst the Great Barrier Reef. Males has bigger humps. This one would be a female. The hollow crevices host roosts for damselfish. These blue damsels are known to be one of the target preys for the bigger Napoleon wrasses. So do the clownfish. However, clownfish are different from damselfish. They have strong mucus slimes, known for deterring any stings from stingers. Sea anemones, of course. Hence another name for the clownfish, the anemone fish. They live among the sea anemone, but some that are wandering around are due to the global warming killing of the anemones that they seek for shelter. Some that can get into it are safe from the predators. Some clownfish, like the skunk clownfish, seems to prefer corals more. Whether or not it is, the conservation program has been raised to protect sea anemones from the global warming. These string-like creatures are the garden eels. They feed amongst the sand in the bottoms, as the plankton, washed up by the currents of the ocean, gets into their mouth. These are the filter feeders, which means they filter the water through their gills, only trapping the planktons and small animals they want. Seahorses are known as the mystical oddball of the ocean. With their good camouflaging abilities, once finished breeding, the female seahorse puts their eggs in the male's pouch. The males then guard these eggs and taking care of them. Once a baby seahorse hatches, the male has already done its job and dies off. It's a horrible fate it is, but that's how it is for the animals in the ocean. This seahorse trying to blend its color to the sea fan. As you can see, razorblade fish swims amongst the vertical ways. These are helping them to hide amongst the crevices, unlike most fish that swims horizontally. The Bangkok cardinal fish swallow its eggs and keep them safe in their mouth. This way, the predator wouldn't find their eggs and eat them all, while the eggs hatch and remain safely. The parents will release their babies out into the ocean. Despite of how terrifying these crown thorny starfish are, they cannot compare to the honeycomb morays. These moray eels hunt amongst the crevices during nighttime. In the day, they guard their shelter, just like a dragon guarding its lair. With sharp 2 sets of teeth inside their mouth, they can lock their prey in and crush their bones. Else than the ocean, the Earth's freshwater ecosystem are mostly overlooked. But we are gonna be learning about that today as well. As we venture deep into the rivers amongst the forest, we can find relationship between lands and water that we use and consume. Deep in this river, we can see that all plants and animals live together in harmony. At the bottom is where the predator lurks, the dead-noid tigerfish. They hunt for small fish amongst these woods. These Amazonian freshwater stingrays need to be feared with respect. With their stinger contains lethal venom, they can puncture you easily. Furthermore, we have the archerfish. These are known to shoot waters out of their mouth by gaping their spitting tongues to shoot up water to catch insects with high accuracy. Archerfish can be found widely, both fresh and salt water. These gigantic freshwater shark catfish and the tarpon skirts amongst the water searching for small fish. The pacu feeds on the fruits that falls into the river, while the giant arapaima, the largest freshwater fish known to man, hunts for small fish amongst the shoreline. Look, that's the giant river stingray. These are native to the Mekong River of Southeast Asia. Grown up to 3 meters, they are more fearsome and larger than their Amazonian cousin. But they are also endangered too. Some of these giant fish are gentle enough, like the Siamese carps that feeds on the plankton. The arapaima do not attack humans at all. Up on the tree's canopy above the river, the green tree python loiters itself around the branches, waiting for birds and mammals to cross over. Monitor lizards, prehensile enough to climb the tree, use its sharp and long claws to hunt for earthworms and insects in the logs. These strawberry dart frogs consume small insects that contain poison in them. These poison then cover up their bodies, turning into a mucus. The Philippine sailfin dragon, one of the aquatic lizards, known to live both on land and water, traveled through the rainforest. It got to look out for its own natural predator, the reticulated python. The African cichlids from the East Africa, living up in the Lake Malawi, are one of the most diverse group of fish in the world. With so many stunning colors and their interesting behavior, they make good pets in the worldwide trade. The muddy swamp of the mangrove forest homes to the giant mud skipper. They use their pectoral fin-like legs to crawl around on the mud, searching for small insects. These mangrove roots not just only host home for mud skipper, but also for other species of fish and invertebrates. These areas are important as nursery for small fish to grow and be raised. The harbors of the northeast Australia homes to the zebra shark, one of the largest bottom-dwelling sharks in the world. As also the counals rays and the eagle ray, used as estuaries as home to seek for food. The Napoleon wrens came up from the deep oceans, come here to search for food and also breeding grounds. As we descend back to the Great Barrier Reef, we're going to be looking at the most peculiar fish in the world, blue hippotang. It is known for its charp. These fish act as the cleanup crew, feeding on algae and seaweed. many of these fish host one of the most important food sources commercially for the seafood market. However, the Acanthara surgeonfish is not one of them. We are now descending deep into the open ocean, where sharks and rays roam around and hunt freely. These waters homes to many open ocean fishes that swims through a lake. One of the sleeky sharks here are the black-tipped creep sharks. It is known for the black-tipped dorsal and pectoral fins. Here we are greeted by the giant gheaterfish. It is the close relative of rays that has the body of a shark. This is how the primordial forms of rays may look like. With the hazardous-looking snout, the small-toothed starfish are one of the most greatest predator of the ocean. It used these stars not just only to defend itself, but also for hunting small fish. One of the few harmless but largest sharks in Australia are the sand tiger shark. With their jagged teeth and their weird peculiar tiger-like eyes, these creatures roams the deepest ocean hunting for fish. However, there have been very few records of them hunting and attacking humans. Hence they're shy and big. How gentle is that? These sharks are known to eat each other since they were in their mother's womb. They do not come up during the daytime. They live in the deepest oceans along the crevices, but in the night they hunt freely. These yellow trevallies and African pompanos are one of their favorite foods amongst them. These fish are also known to be good game fish commercially, but also one of the sources of food that the shark hunts. With the gheaterfish underside mouth, it feeds in the bottom, searching for crustaceans and mollusks. Unlike the sharks, they can live together amongst in harmony. This female Napoleon wrasse went through an undergo transformation. She turned her hormones on, turning her into a male. Another predators of the deep, the potato cod grouper glides through, as the zebra shark sleeps thrilly. These sharks do not need to swim all the time. Unlike most fish, shark needs to keep the water flow through their gill to oxygenate it themselves. However, the bottom dweller sharks and rays, like this bowmouth gheaterfish, doesn't need to take much of an oxygen. They do not need to worry. On the coastline of South Africa, homes the Humboldt penguin. These penguins have common ancestors from Antarctica. However, the ancestor migrated through the cold water currents up to South Africa continent, and they have evolved to live here. In the chilly South Pole, homes to the Gentoo penguin. These penguins collect rocks and stones to warm themselves and also for gestation of their eggs. How fascinating! In the cold North Pole, these fish, the pineapple fish, have hard scales and shells to protect themselves from seals and polar bears. These fish have not changed their body and form that much since the dinosaur times. If any animals wise to eat them, they will be greeted with a jagged sharp spikes on their back. Another example of the living fossil, jellyfishes. These jellyfishes have not changed their body structure since 516 million years ago, making them one of the most oldest form of life in the ocean. These jellyfish can tolerate both cold and warm waters. Many species have widespread around the world, like these fire jellyfish with a strong venom that can burn through the skin of a human, causing notorious painful sensation. As how lives flourish in the oceans, human activities and global climate change have harmed their lives. It is up to us whether or not we want to take care of the planet and being responsible for all of our actions and help preserve the ocean life to the way it should be. If humans can preserve the ocean the way it should be, the world would be such a nicer place.